All right, it is Wednesday. It is the rundown. It is January 24th.
Yeah.
It is.
Whoa.
Yep.
You did 23 like 4 days early, but
Whoa.
you're back on track now.
SeatGeek, $10 off.
Still is a brain in there.
Yep. I don't know why. I saw the date recently.
Today, probably?
Yesterday. No, I knew yesterday was the 23rd.
Got it.
So I put it together. Plus one to today. $10 off your first order with the promo code RUNDOWN. SeatGeek pulls tickets from every reputable ticketing site, one place. Always get the best prices. They rank them, so it's not only the best seats, but the best value. So the best value could sometimes be up in the upper deck or whatever. So check it out. $10 off your first order with the promo code RUNDOWN. Big support of the program, so thank you, SeatGeek. LeBron got his 30,000 last night. For me, I know you guys probably talked about his letter yesterday, which he pre-congratulated himself.
I know you were out doing big finance things, but that was
amazing.
One of his worst ever.
Did you see the best part, too, is that I think ESPN reposted it, and then he liked that Instagram. So he liked the thanking of old LeBron thanking young LeBron for old LeBron's accomplishments.
It's an amazing thing in general. But in light of what is going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers, like on the front page of ESPN, I put the screenshot. It has a picture of them all and like making them look like God, like 10 straight things, the greatness of LeBron, this, and then little print like San Antonio 114, Cleveland 1. They stink.
Dave, I watched every single second of that game because I bet the Cavs because I said to myself, LeBron James has too much pride to lose when he gets 30,000 points.
Night, yeah.
They stink.
What did they do when he got 30,000?
He did it like right at the end of the first quarter, so it was like kind of worked.
Like a show though?
No, he just like gave everyone hugs and stuff. But they're sloppy. They get bullied on the rebounds. They don't play defense. Like
it's Kevin Love's fault.
It is. I was shocked, and like they had a moment in the fourth quarter where they kind of cut it to 5, and I was like, okay, now LeBron is going to be like, this is my game. No.
They stink.
No.
And he posted, I don't get
They're playing bums, too, by the way. Like, Pau Gasol was out. Kawhi's obviously still out. I think there was a couple other guys that were out.
San Antonio lost 3 or 4. They're not playing. It doesn't matter who they play. They give up a bazillion points. They lose every week. It
just came out that Gilbert wants to sell the Cavs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just bailing?
How convenient.
Just giving up on the whole fucking operation now?
I said this shouldn't have been.
Shit.
He should. By the way, Gilbert's an idiot. He should have done that last year before it's clear that LeBron's leaving.
This shouldn't be a 30,000 celebration last night. It should have been a retirement ceremony. This guy is done, and he's got his Snapchat after the game with the balloons with the third. Yeah. Bro, you've lost 6 or 7. Your team isn't just losing; they're getting killed. And it's in turmoil. They're saying Isaiah Thomas is the guy who not LeBron, because you know LeBron leaked that out. Isaiah Thomas is the one calling team meetings and trashing Kevin Love. No chance. The guy's been playing for 2 weeks.
No chance. Also, I hate this. The LeBron's the youngest to ever do it. Michael Jordan did it in 140 games
Less
faster.
games, yeah.
Because he went to college.
That's always been like in KG and Kobe when they went. Anytime you come out of high school, everything's skewed.
And LeBron's never missed a season.
It's such a personal. It's a good accomplishment, but it's such an individual accomplishment.
It's a big deal.
But for a guy who's always talking about the team and how he's not about himself, to be popping bottles for how many points you scored when your team stinks right now.
So that's my honest question, because I always take the hardcore LeBron anti-stance. Am I taking crazy pills, or the fact that they are so bad and he's celebrating this so hard? Like, I know we can't predict it, but it's weird.
Yeah. If this was more of like a like his last season, almost like a victory lap or something, like he wasn't good anymore, I could see like, whatever, I'm just celebrating my accomplishments. But he's still supposed to be winning. He's still supposed to be.
This is the story.
Right,
the Cavs are in, for the first time in his career, he is on a team, and I know, there has never been, and I'm always on the other side, the Cavs will be fine, because generally, when the Cavs go through this, when they get like mad, it's like, okay, we're mad.
They're usually resting or don't care, but they're trying.
They are trying, and they aren't just losing; they're getting killed every single game. It's amazing.
Celtics stink too right now.
I was gonna say the
East. Celtics haven't been good for a while.
I bet on them last night too.
Who's
the Raptors are decent. Bulls are. If you look at the last 20 games, the Bulls are pretty fucking hot.
I had one of those rare moments when I took the over in the Celtics, and I took the over in Golden State. I went to bed in both of them, and they didn't look good. I woke up, they're both winning.
Yeah, the over in the Golden State, I followed that. I was just doing the refresh, because it was like 50 points in the first quarter, and they just went bazooka.
They went bazooka.
By the way, the story of the night,
Same with the Celtics, to be honest. It's like 19-14.
Yeah.
Marcus Smart taking that shot last night was great.
I don't even know what shot
It was just the last shot of the game in
Oh, I
overtime,
didn't
and it
see
was
it.
like,
It's like
I mean, you would have
Kyrie
thought he
lost
was,
by
one,
you would have
but-
thought he was Kobe.
He like behind the back
trigger,
for
like,
three.
and the whole world was like, oh my god.
The story last night, though, is that Dirk, I forgot Dirk has 30,000 points. And, like, Dirk is maybe the most underrated NBA player of all time. Like, he might be a top 20 guy all time. The fact that he's in the club of, I think, 7 now, like, that's crazy.
And I don't know what happened when he got 30,000. I'm sure they did something. It's almost like that Simpsons episode where Homer's trying to like bowl the perfect game, and he throws this wild celebration, and then I think Maggie does it right after, and like one balloon goes
Right.
up. Like Dirk
did the same
certainly
exact thing.
did not do this.
He didn't
Suck my
congratulate
dick
himself.
for like 10 months
He didn't
straight.
get the ESPN coverage
Yeah.
front page
LeBron's going to get 40, though. That's the thing. He's gonna have the all-time record.
I think
in LA.
Yeah, probably.
LeBron, if you said win another championship or 40,000, he'd take 40,000, like no questions asked. Donald Trump Jr., fan of the program, apparently. I'm a little confused on this story. Sometimes when things are swirling about us, I can't tell what's happening. This was one of them. It's like I saw it first from like some weird account, like Trump follower, like that was like the account or something. Like Donald Trump Jr. just followed Barstool Sports. Then I saw people being like, maybe his account was turned back on. PFT like made a video that I hadn't watched, and people were talking about it. I didn't know what was like.
Is
going
this
on.
like a Scaramucci thing where he follows the whole world? Or
No, he doesn't follow that. No, he deliberately
big deal.
followed us. Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
Donnie Jr.
Well, I mean, I don't care what you think. If you,
No, as long
the
as
son
it's
of the
good.
president,
It's
it's
good
good
for
to
us.
follow us.
It's good for us.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's good for. Yeah, it's good for everybody. It's good for business.
I think it's good.
It's good for
I
America.
mean, the people who hate us are gonna then be like, yeah, of course they're Trump. Like the people who hate us anyway, so it doesn't really change anything. It's only good, only
I
positive.
mean, I don't care who the president. If you told me Putin followed us, I'd be like, awesome.
Yeah, you.
He might. There's a lot of Russian bots out there.
That's true. This has been something. So Trae Young, the best player in college basketball, changed his game, by the way, 180. Got yelled at for shooting too much, clearly, and like played a totally different
He
game.
was
versus
awesome last
Kansas.
night.
Yeah, I had Oklahoma.
He was awesome.
Did you watch the end of that game?
Yeah.
They
Did
just
you
kept following that guy who
Did
couldn't
all
shoot
see
free
th-
throws.
Dave, that guy, I said
That was-
at the moment, I know I've seen Shaq, Ben Wallace, like there's some bad free throw
Ooga
shooters out there.
Boogie or something? What's that
That
guy's
is
name?
the worst free throw shooter I've ever seen in my life. He
How's
does
Bill
this
Sel-
weird spin on the ball, and it actually has no chance of going in.
I think
He has no
when,
chance.
when you're a bad free throw shooter, but it's unconventional, it's like just stop
Dude,
doing it
he
that
was,
way.
He was like 1 of 8, and all of them were the hardest bricks that
Not even.
It wasn't
close.
even close.
And it was down. It was a 1 point. There was a stretch.
They don't do that in college either. They don't hack people in college.
It was Kansas, Oklahoma at the end of the game. There was a solid 2 to 3 minute stretch where Oklahoma would come down and turn the ball over without getting a shot, and then they just foul this Uzubuki
He was just hiding
guy.
in the corner.
Yeah.
Like
And
hiding
he
in the
just
3
missed
corners.
Every
yeah.
shot. They went all the way. Oklahoma went all the way from doing it through 1-and-1s to they kept fouling when he had a double bonus.
Yeah, no. I've never
That's
seen
the most
a team do
disrespectful
that.
thing ever.
And he
I mean,
didn't hit anything.
he went 1 for 8. He shot. I think he was
He
shooting.
puts a spin on the ball.
Yeah, he puts a weird spin on the ball. I think he's shooting under 40% now for the season, which
That's almost impossible.
it really is.
Yeah.
It like you can find me someone who's
Chris
never
Dudley
played
shit.
basketball in their life. Give me like 2 days with them. I guarantee they can shoot more than 40%.
Texas shooting over 40%.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what is Bill Self? I was wondering, like, what is Bill Self doing? Because you have to take him out.
Yeah, why is he even on the floor?
He was on the floor because he's their big man, and like yeah, I mean,
Unless he
he
thought-
actually did have like a good. They came out of the halftime, and he like had a bunch of
But at
big
what
points.
But
like,
during
down
that
low.
span, when they just kept
Get him off
following
the floor,
him,
at least for then.
it was 1, 2. I think it was 5 straight possessions.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
got
'cause
0
he was
points.
going one
It
and
was
ones all the way to the
It was
double
just a
bonus.
turnover every time.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma wasn't doing anything for a while.
Yeah.
Like they kept turning over.
Yes.
Then they hit a couple threes.
Did you see that guy who put his? I tweeted the clip.
Yeah,
Right
right
as
in the hand.
the game-winning three.
Yeah.
A guy is standing right in front of the camera and puts his hand up for
Yeah.
3, and
Yeah.
it blocked the entire shot.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't even see
Yeah.
the shot go in.
Yeah, it did. And they got that white guy who, to me, looks like Larry Bird Jr.
Yeah.
Like who
Saw that.
Trey Young was great though.
Trae
Like, he
Young,
changed his
he's
whole
awesome.
game
He's
last
electric.
night after all the shit.
He has
Efficient as hell.
What is up with his hair?
It's not bald.
It's not. Yeah, I was confused
What
when
is
you
it?
said bald. It's
just
disastrous.
terrible. It's just terrible.
But it's not bald.
He's got like.
He's got. It looks like.
That's one of those things like God gives, God takes away. You're this supremely blessed basketball player, and you have the hair.
But couldn't he just go buzz cut?
Why would you
Rats
not shave
now.
your head? That's
Yeah.
when you're
That hair
an athletic
stinks.
black dude like that. Just shave your head.
He's got like somehow like black Jewish hair.
Yeah, it's like wiry
really-
Jew fro.
Yeah, it's
It
weird.
is.
And he's got like
Terrible.
it looks like in Home Alone when Harry gets his head burned. It's like patches missing.
I haven't heard anyone talk about like he's afraid of birds, so I forget where he was, Oklahoma State. Maybe they had bird signs. Like he doesn't really care about getting. Like he's not really scared of birds. Nobody's that scared of birds where like you put a sign. His hair bothers
He might
him.
be.
That's a decoy.
No,
Don't
he
make
might
fun
be
of my
scared.
hair.
Remember
I'm
the
afraid
guy
of
who was
birds.
scared of what was the guy on the Broncos who was scared of horses? Who would like freak out, or maybe he was on the Chiefs.
Yeah,
he would freak out every time
remember.
that the Bronco when they.
Yeah,
That
but
was
that's
either-
a real horse.
Yeah, he was like deathly afraid
Yeah, I
of
mean
horses.
a picture. If you're afraid of a picture of a bird,
You're
you're a fucking
If
pussy.
you have a bird phobia, I'd imagine that would trigger you.
A picture of a bird? Yeah.
I
I mean, you can
would
show me
not-
a picture of like a monster. I'm not gonna be afraid.
I would not want my hair. That's like our boy there on the Penguins. Who's our guy? The guy Benino. Yeah, he tells the story when they were playing the Rangers in the playoffs, and Mangold was at the game. What's his first name?
Nick?
Nick
Mangold?
Mangold. And Benino took his helmet off, and he screamed at him, "You bald asshole!" Like he got kicked out of the game.
Right.
Mangold. He was like leaning over, and Benino's like, "I never take my helmet off now."
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
like,
no,
I
that
just
I
leave
mean,
it on.
well, that gets into any guy's
Right.
head. You used to make fun of their hair.
That,
leave
Bortles
the
went through a whole
bird
thing,
shit.
how he's like trained himself to be like helmet to hat as quickly
Right.
as possible.
So
This-
leave the bird pictures at home. Make fun of him for being bald, and you're gonna get under his skin.
Mike Trout, noted Jersey guy, Eagle fan, was at the last game, says he may not go to the Super Bowl because he doesn't want to miss the commercials, fair or foul. Fair or foul, I wish I didn't say that. What is fair or foul from? Somebody feel like they
Maybe
said it on some
PTI.
show, maybe. Kifsy?
I mean, I don't really care, but it's kind of a bizarre. If you're like supposed to be this diehard Philly fan, I don't think you should be really worried about the commercials during the Super Bowl. But I'm not gonna like.
It seems like things 12-year-olds say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna like question. I do think he is an Eagles fan and shit, but it
Oh,
is
he's definitely an Eagles
Yeah,
fan.
I'm not saying like you're not a sports fan, but it's kind of bizarre to be like, I'm worried about the commercials.
I've never been to a Super Bowl, but so I can't compare it to like what the in-game versus going to watching at home. But I do think the Super Bowl is a sit on your couch experience, just because it's like I mean you can tell us, Dave, like it feels like it would take forever in the stadium with all the breaks and everything, kind of take the air out.
Halftime's like 2 hours.
If
long.
he had just said that, though, if he was just like, I like to be alone, like with my like no distractions, that's totally understandable. The commercials, and you're Mike Trout, dude. You make like $500 million. Your contract's $500 million. Get a suite and watch the commercials in the suite.
Suite would certainly fix it. To answer your question, I agree with you. But if your team's in it,
Right.
it's a
But
very
that's the thing. Like if your team's not in it, like
no,
why-
no
yeah,
point to go.
Right.
When I went,
Oh, you
I
went.
was
Yeah,
rooting
you went
against
to
the
one.
Patriots, so I had like such a vested interest. But if you're going and it's just two teams you don't care about, I would agree with.
But you also
But I
had
was-
that
I mean, I
deal
had the
where
whole
you
experience.
flew in
Yeah,
and
fuck
flew out.
yeah.
We
I
did
mean,
the private plane. We did the suite,
Yeah.
so it wasn't like I was just sitting in the stands.
How the hell
but I
did
was
that happen, by the way?
just some douchebag with money who was.
I feel like we couldn't even get that right now.
No.
We're like way bigger.
The thing about being at a Super Bowl, which I've said, the two that I've been at, it's very unique, and it's, I guess, to a degree like a Rose Bowl. When there's most games you go to, it's like you're around your fans. The Super Bowl, it's split, so it's almost like a war in the crowd for cheer. It's like you're out of breath, you're cheering because you're
sitting right next to
there's like
people,
your
yeah.
enemies.
Yeah.
It's all mixed. Like you become like brotherhood with your like Patriot fans, and in this case, probably beat up by Eagle fans. So that makes it. I love being there. And I don't like live sporting events generally. Like I would much rather be on my couch. The Super Bowls are amazing. They've been, and granted, I went to like two of the best ones, but they are amazing to be at.
What do you think your estimate for Eagles versus Patriots fans in the stadium on
I
Sunday?
think it's going to be 70-30 Eagles fans, maybe 60-40.
But the
Except
twist
they're
is
trash and they can't travel.
The twist is Vikings fans now are going to be rooting for the Patriots
Big
because they
time.
hate the Eagles fans.
And they do give, it's like when we went to the Super Bowl in Arizona near Seattle, everyone's like, it's all Seahawks fans. But the tickets are allotted equally. So Patriot fans
it's
would
just
have to be
resell.
selling. And I think there is an element of, this is all going to sound cocky, but it's true.
No,
it's
it's
the
the
8th
truth.
Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and it's in Minnesota where it's freezing cold.
Yeah, you're not
There's no
clamoring
there's
to get there.
There's
Yeah.
the Eagle fans are like they'd sell their house, I think,
Right.
to go.
Vikings
and they live
fans,
in
by the
snow.
way, I know the Philly trash comes and invades your town, but like Vikings fans are sounding very soft.
Well, it's Minnesota nice for a
Very
reason.
soft.
I mean, Philly fans
They are
bad.
yeah, they're trash, but
I
it's
posted
like
a video today. It's a BC hockey player, Lindsay Lohan's cousin, got knocked out, broken jaw out for the season, but it's like a 5-on-1 Philly, like wearing the Embiid
don't-
shirt. They're just trash.
They always point out other fan bases that have these videos and these moments, and yeah, like it does happen elsewhere. It happens a lot with Philly.
even
Stereotypes exist for a reason, and they exist because every time this happens, there's like a flood of videos and a flood.
And we've been to a million Super Bowls, and
It's
Jacksonville
perception
won
and
the award.
reality.
Yeah,
Right.
To quote our friend Smitty.
Yeah, right. It's like you create your reality. Jim Cramer, I was on the Mad Money, huge Eagles fan. Even he is like, yeah, we don't travel well. It's
Right.
Like, no, you
but
don't.
just admit it. Just own it. Be like,
Yeah.
yeah, we go hard as shit, and like we're violent and we're crazy. Watch out for us. I'd be like, okay.
Yeah. We haven't talked much about this at all. The gymnastics scandal. Larry Nassar, is that how you pronounce it? Scumbag, sentenced to like 150 years, just dragged by the judge, rightfully so. The thing, and the only comment I have on this is, like Michigan State specifically, when they're like, oh, people knew. Why would you ever protect like the trainer of the gymnastics program at Michigan State? And I don't know the details of it, but is there some element like leadership knew that the trainer of a program you don't give a fuck about? Like what?
The whole thing is fucking
You shouldn't,
sick.
obviously shouldn't protect anybody in that situation, but like Penn State football is a different
You-
scenario
they-
than
you should
the
never-
trainer for
Correct.
fucking, come on. Yeah, that makes no sense to me at all.
And these people at the Bella Caroli camp, like, the fact that they just dropped, like, I was reading a story last night that this like gymnastics training camp is in like the forest outside of Houston, and once a month these families just drop their kids off, no
go.
supervision.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's
the
just
Bella
disgusting.
Carolis are like they're like the Romanian crazy people.
Yeah, but like they had like it's very similar to Penn State, where you cannot convince me that many adults had at least an inkling that shit was going on, and they didn't.
Or that
stop.
it was just bizarre behavior. Maybe not, you don't know the
right,
extent of it.
but just like
but
letting
I-
a doctor into the fucking
But that's where I
dorms
don't get the
off
Michigan
hours and
State
stuff.
part because like they can't care about Michigan State gymnastics. Can they?
I don't know. It's sick. Any adult that ever knew
to be honest,
needs to be fucking publicly shamed.
The gymnastics culture is weird.
Yeah, it is.
Like the whole
I mean,
thing.
all-
we're watching
Olympics-
the Olympics.
all
You're rooting for
Olympics
like
culture.
12 years.
Children
Like people,
who
yeah,
are
figure
like,
skating
you're
too.
like stunting their growth and
Yeah.
grinding them out. Like,
Crazy.
It's not normal.
Crazy. It's like hobby. It's like watching those shows with the little dolls who are like in pageants when they're like
Yeah.
on TLC and
John
shit.
Bonet.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the rundown. The big news, obviously, yesterday, the new investment. We've known about that for a little bit. Contrary to popular belief, nobody really is wealthy now, but we will have to sell this thing hopefully one day and make money. But it's
God
a
willing.
good spot to be in.
God willing.
It's good to just shoot it out to the haters a little bit and everybody who doesn't.
Of which
like
there
us.
are many.
Of which there are many.
Yeah, no, it's until it's in the bank account, it's all fugazi, but it's nice to be like, it's working.
I like people.
Oh yeah, you're paper rich.
I'm paper rich.
Yeah, I guess
Internet-
Kevin and I are
which is
a little
better
bit
than
paper. We're paper wealthy.
Wealthy.
We're not
Paper well
rich.
off.
Back to
Yeah.
internet dollars. I have some people being like they make the number up and it comes from nowhere. We have a lot of really dumb fake
Wannabe
experts.
finance
It's
guys.
like
Yeah.
I don't want to get too technical for people. Oh, you're just making money up. Well, they got to invest at a value, so it's not made up at all.
Right.
It's like a very real number.
Right.
It's just we don't have it in our pockets, but it's very real. So all those fake stockbrokers out there, you guys are very stupid. They're just stupid. It's crazy. I actually enjoy reading some of the theories. Like they can just say whatever they want. It's like, not at all.
No.
If we did, we would have been like we're
$2 billion.
Yeah.
$2 billion
We would've made up a
company,
higher
give us
number.
our checks.
Yeah. So that's it. That's the rundown. We are gearing up for next week.
Do you want to hear from Donovan McNabb?
Oh, Donovan McNate,
The new Philly blogger. Come on,
new
come on
Philly
down.
blogger on the scene. What's that?
Can you take a second off blogging?
Yeah, he can do it. So those haven't been paying attention since the Philly blogs haven't. I would say there haven't been tons of them. Donovan McNate has declared himself the new Philly blogger.
Hello.
I watched this unfold. It was early in the morning.
I walked in
It was
here.
early in the morning, and
Yeah.
things were getting heated. I actually, I grabbed I was filming it, and it was definitely serious.
Yeah,
Smitty was not he was fucking being for real, and Nate was not responding. But I looked over and I just saw on his laptop that he was already Googling Zach Ertz and getting ready to write his next film.
Tom McNate.
It's going to be a big problem for the Patriots to cover him. I hope you're ready for him.
Who?
For Ertz.
Oh, Zach Ertz.
Yeah, he's going to run all over you.
Tom McNate's been breaking down the all-22. I walked in and I was like, I walked in a little late this morning, and it felt.
You can feel the tension.
You can feel it's like almost after a dog fight at a dog park, where everything gets a little everyone's
dusted
a
up and-
little on edge. It was a big dog fight here, and you walked in, it's like, okay.
It's absolutely amazing because if anybody pulls the stun on Nate, it's World
That is
War.
true. The one thing I will say for Smitty is
your
he's
mic
making
on? It's
a
red.
salient point. He's making a salient
his
point
mic
about
on?
Nate
Okay.
stirring the pot, but then not liking the pot being stirred. on him.
Absolutely, that's Nate.
So-
but Nate also
But that's
takes
Nate.
care of his blogs
Yeah.
for the most part.
He's number 2 in
Number
page
2 in
views.
page views, yes.
It's like
I'm very
I
interested to
also
see where
do feel
Donovan
bad.
McNate ends up in page views.
He's doing well.
Yeah. Will you be upset, Smitty, if Donovan McNate beats you in page views?
Donovan McNate as an entity, or whatever it is, will not beat me in page views on Eagles blogs.
Well, this is Doc because
Individually,
no,
Donovan
no,
McNate.
and this is not even
Okay.
necessarily a knock on you.
It's not
I mean, it
Nate-
kind
it's
of
not
is, but
Barstool Nate. He
Donovan
does
McNate-
Alexis Wren blogs 20 times a day.
People will be clicking no matter what to read Donovan McNate, even if it's a bad blog. So I'm telling you right now, he's gonna beat
I
you.
think
Well, it's
McNate
amazing
will-
how just
if you're betting money,
I think Donovan
as a matter
McNate
of fact,
will probably beat
Smitty, and I'm again not a knock on you, but kind of a knock on you. He's gonna blow you out of the water.
Yeah, and it's amazing how just Donovan McNate and just page views are just represented as just everything.
The end all be all of
Yeah,
of
they
it.
end up, but I mean, videos, doing stuff like radio, doing stuff staying after, doing a Philly podcast that nobody listens to, doing fucking rough around.
I mean, the Philly
it's-
podcast, you've done 2 sample episodes. I just
We
found
did 3
out
sample
about
episodes
2 days ago.
3 sample episodes gearing up for the Super Bowl. You didn't know about it. We talked about it before.
Like
You're like, yeah,
two,
do
3
it.
days ago, yeah.
No, we talked about it 3 weeks ago. Yeah, do it. Do once a week, and I
All right,
listened
but
to
you
it.
just told me that it was created. I just got it in my inbox. I think you just gave it to me yesterday, right?
2 days ago. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Is
Nate
Donovan
stays
McNate
in
going to
his
be on
lane.
that?
Donovan McNate
No,
just-
no. Nate's just a blogger. Nate stays in his lane.
Yeah.
That's all he does.
The company
It's just
man and-
Nate. Yeah, no, he's just a blogger. Just leave him alone. That's all he wants to do. He just wants to be a blogger. He doesn't go insert himself into conversations. He doesn't walk in and say, "Hey, Mr. Portnoy, I would like to be the Eagles blogger." He doesn't do that.
No.
He stays in his lane.
Nope.
Donovan McNate.
You don't deserve one.
Smitty, how are you feeling about your chance to go to the Super Bowl?
It's up in the air.
I
did
haven't read
everything-
that
Yeah,
yet.
I did everyththing that
Yeah,
that
so
I
you wrote a
should be
blog
done.
and you laid it
you
out.
I mean, over the past 6 years, I did everything that I should have done to be able to go to the Super Bowl. But I pitched everything. Dave, that I could.
I have a question about that blog.
Yes.
Do you think the fact that you had to write that blog is already an indictment that,
Tough.
having to say this is why I deserve to go?
That was
Is an
addressed.
indictment on-
That was addressed in the first paragraph.
Got
I'm
it.
not sure.
I
If a, I'm not
apologize,
sure
I
if a
didn't read
veteran
it.
stage actor should be required to audition for the role of his lifetime, if he's proven it before. And I feel like I've proven it many times before. But that was addressed as well as pitched.
But then you
with other
auditioned.
topics.
We have a false.
Yes, because I'm a company man and I have no problem doing
We
it.
have a false narrative here that if you root for a team, you should automatically be
Dave,
rewarded
how
with
many
a
man on
dream
the
trip.
street tailgate videos did I do out of my own pocket since 2013? I've done a dozen of them. And
But-
just
but
read the blog. Just read the blog and then
Just
decide for
doing them
yourself.
versus,
It's not just
results.
being a fan. I grew my brand from that. What the fuck you laughing at, Resnick?
Resnick over there in
Little
the peanut
cow
gallery.
shit.
This is what I'm talking about, the dog fight. The dog fight is
It's
Like,
okay.
no,
very
no,
real.
no,
This
all
is
good. Like,
actually-
I've sat in the corner, shut my mouth for years, and finally the next 4 weeks up until Rough and Rowdy, it's the biggest 4 weeks of my life, basically, between the Eagles, my literal Super Bowl, and Rough and Rowdy, which I'm putting my fucking life on the line. All gloves are off. I don't care who you are, Resnick. What the fuck are you laughing at again?
Smitty, I'll say this. Smitty is going, I like that he's got the fight in him. Even yesterday when he was on the rundown, he compared himself to Kevin Love, and I said, well, Kevin Love's an all-star. And he did not think that was funny. And I like that, because Smitty's you are in war mode. And it's fun to watch.
There's
Smitty
just
gets
It is
the
fun to watch.
That's
You're
your
ready to
narrative,
go.
But there's at some level, I haven't read the blog. I'm going to read it. But like the veteran, it's like just because you've been on a team for 10 years and it's like the World Series, you don't let's put the guy who bats 140 in the cleanup hole. Like that's
numerous
automatic.
examples of batting well above average.
There isn't though.
There is. Look at the fucking blog. You haven't read anything.
I'll read the blog, but I did the
Like
stat
Jesus
blog
Christ,
like
you
2
put
years
in
ago.
a thing. You put in a thing of Rough and Rowdy saying that I noted that nobody even fucking mentioned about Barstool, me sneaking in with geezers to fucking sing the national anthem in a Phillies game. That should have been like big time Barstool news. You even said the Rough and Rowdy thing. Yeah, I never noticed that.
I
you
didn't
never noticed
that,
shit.
but it's also like not the best when it's like you're picking one example over the past decade that I didn't notice.
Dave, just read the block.
Can I make a point? I think what I like about this whole thing, it's very meta, but you fighting for your trip to the Super Bowl is actually the greatest content that's like page views wise.
And it's very Smitty.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like
That's
this is
very
his
brand.
story
It's
is
Very page
his story is
views, too.
great.
It's very, very me too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's very Dave.
I mean he did create all of us.
I know.
And it's like making it interesting.
And in the blog, as well as this morning, I
what
said I fucking
Donovan
hate
Donovan McNate's back here just talking.
That's what Donovan McNate's doing.
I'll tell you what, this fucking
I
the
feel bad
Eagles
for Smitty.
Patriots Super Bowl could not work out better for just like
For the whole,
this
for
is just
everybody, for everybody
the
here.
office
except
I'm
just
Smitty.
has
still
a
being feeling.
buzz.
Look,
I feel
if
bad
this
that
content-
Smitty, like you can't just like clock him. Like there's just
I
the
asked
fact
today.
that there's
Who would
such
you-
a
if you-
size
if
difference
you
really
had-
adds everything to this.
All right, well,
rivalry.
and the rundown on this. If you had an ability to punch one person in the office
Uh-huh.
and no repercussions, would you punch Dave or McNate? No, like nothing happens. Nothing changes. We do the Men in Black right after that, so no one remembers it.
great question.
Would it be Dave or McNate?
Roy Cologne.
Whoa.
What?
Let him and
Okay, that was
to
a
the
bad
top and
answer.
we're on
No,
the
you
top.
only
Hell
get
was
these
that?
two.
Him and
It's
Willie
only
mixed
these
it up.
two.
Him and Willie mixed it up this morning.
Yeah.
What? About what?
Willie was talking about how Philly fans are trash. He told a story about how he was outside of the game once in Philly. He was walking the streets with his mother, who unfortunately is suffering from lupus.
Oh, I've heard the story.
And they threw batteries
Yeah,
at him
they
and his
ch-
mother.
yeah, yeah.
To which Smitty replied, "Well, was she wearing a sign that said she has lupus?"
So my family is from New York, from the Bronx. Everybody's Steeler geared out. My mom, who's sick with lupus, walking to the stadium to watch her son play his first NFL game, waving a yellow terrible towel, gets batteries thrown at her.
Okay, that's
And so
really,
from
really got batteries thrown at her.
I would not. I put my hand on the Bible. Hand on the Bible. So from my mouth to God's ears, that happened. Multiple witnesses. And so my family tried to rush and start a fight and whatever.
Sounds like a real story to me.
It's a real story. I swear to God. Yeah. So from then on, I was like, oh, I hate everything Philly.
Somebody threw batteries at him.
You think I would waste my
with
fucking?
lupus? Did she have a sign that said she had lupus? Did
No,
they know
she'd
she had
have a
lupus?
fucking sign, but it's still it's
doesn't
a,
matter. You
It's
shouldn't
it's
throw
right, it's
batteries.
later.
Which is probably not the most sensitive
Fair
thing
point
to
by
say.
Smitty, actually. Because remember that guy who missed the half-court shot and had no insides?
and we
And
should've-
we all made jokes?
Yep,
And we're like,
yep.
he should be wearing a sign saying he's got no
Remember
insides.
the guy who ate the hot dog at the Bruins
Yes.
game without the
Raw
You
dog.
got to
bun?
make
Raw
that
dog.
And I
clear.
made
Classic.
fun,
Yes.
and then they said Dave
should.
Portnoy, founder
So
of
I'm
Barstool
actually on
Sports,
Smitty's
fun of
side
kids.
on that
Here's the
one.
thing.
I'm on his
you
side
should
on that one.
absolutely have to wear signs disclosing your ailments so that we don't make fun of them. However, I feel like Philly fans would look at the sign, see
No.
lupus, and still throw the battery.
No, I don't think
Definitely.
Philly fans
They
would
would
throw
throw it harder.
batteries at lupus.
I
women.
guarantee they
I
would.
think they would.
They would throw it harder.
So what's the answer, though? Don't say Willie Cologne. These two.
Don't say
McNate or
Dave.
Dave?
Neither. I'm a lover, not a
I've
fan.
never
Dave
been
or Donovan
anything but
McNate.
Come
fair
on,
to
Smitty.
It's
Give
just
us
a
an
hypothetical.
answer.
I don't not like Smitty. I've been super fair to Smitty.
You have. I'm not saying you haven't.
Who are you going to punch?
Nate, of course.
Remember that time when you DM'd Dave and said Jew?
Oh, Jesus.
I forgot about that hot dog situation.
That was a gas move. You just pulled the gas.
I'm sorry. I did have your back for lupus. That's a fair point. The guy who